Hey, everybody, welcome back to I Know a Guy. If you're new here, my name's Anthony. I'm a business profit advocate. On this show, we interview entrepreneurs, business owners, professionals, and people doing cool things. So, for example, today we're introducing Clay Hicks, the visionary founder of H7 Network. Since 2008, Clay has been transforming the way professionals connect, fostering genuine relationships that transcend borders and empower entrepreneurs to achieve their dreams. How are you doing today, Clay?
I'm doing great, thanks. Thanks for having me on the show, Anthony. Thanks.
Yeah, awesome. I love what you're doing. Anybody out there that's fostering genuine connections, I want to talk to. Networking is such a big part of what all of us are doing as entrepreneurs, or just people in general. There's too many people out there doing cool things, not to talk to everybody, and you have a really unique and awesome way of doing that. So I was really happy to have you on. Um, Starting off, where are you calling in from today? Where are you at?
I'm in a little town in between Dayton and Cincinnati, Ohio. It's called Franklin. It's called Franklin.
Okay, gotcha. How's
Yeah.
Ohio today?
It's gloomy, getting cold.
Yeah,
So yesterday was humid and rain, and today it's I think it won't get above 51 or
yeah.
something. So yeah.
Yeah, it's same here in Iowa, but that's just the Midwest though. So anyway, I've never been to Ohio. I think I've driven through it on my way to like DC. What's fun in Ohio? I had one gentleman tell me that there's actually islands in Lake Erie that you can go to. Didn't know that was a thing, but what else is out there?
Yeah, actually, that's Kelly Island and Put Bay. Yes, for sure. I've been there. There's that. There's, of course, right, the Air Force Base, Air Force Museum, United States Air Force Museum. We got the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame up above Columbus. We've got football. But it's not a huge tourist state, so that makes sense. But people do come here. Lots of colleges here, so. Um, I kind of sum up Ohio with like football athletes. That's
Yeah, there's something about Ohio though. I think I read somewhere that most astronauts, like the majority of them, actually come from Ohio. So there's something in the water, I guess.
well, you got John Glenn, right? He's from Lebanon, which is next city over from me. They even have John Glenn Highway or whatever over there. We have an NBA basketball player currently from here, Luke Kennard. His parents live right there,
Mm.
so he grew up here in this neighborhood. Um, we've had a golfer, PGA Frank Licklider or something. So yeah, a lot of stuff like that around here. Yeah.
Yeah, the thing with the astronauts though is I was like, I don't know if that bodes well. Like Ohio is either really smart folks or people really want to get as far away as possible. So either
Yeah,
way.
yeah, yeah. Well,
But
we have the Air Force. Well, we have the Air Force here, right? So
yeah,
flights, all that stuff. That
yeah,
that makes sense. You
yeah,
see the
I
connection.
got you. So what can you tell us about 8-7? How'd you get started? What is it?
So H7 Network is a B2B networking platform for professionals to be able to actually connect with other like-minded professionals, leverage our training that we provide as a way to support them into earning and building and sustaining trusted relationships. And then using our tools and resources can then create predictable results in their word of mouth marketing, networking, filling their pipeline. That's a little bit about H7. That's what we kind of provide. I started it in March of '08, so coming up on our 17th anniversary. And so, of course, things have evolved since the beginning of time, starting the business. Up until the pandemic, why I started it and why I still do it's two different reasons, two different things. Why I started was out of kind of need. I'm an entrepreneur, see a need, fill a need. Um, and of course, there's more to that story. My experiences with other networking groups that just weren't, you know, they were a little more frustrating and less inspiring. So I just kind of created my own with five other people. Why I still do it is went on this journey beginning in August of 14, called to this journey. And I go on this journey, and it's me meeting and doing one-to-ones with anybody that would meet with me outside of the network. Okay. And so I started in August of 14. After 4 years, I had successfully completed 3,000 one-to-ones and came up with Connect, Serve, and Ask. Been connecting, serving, and asking non-members of our community since then, and with 5,200 more people. And so Connect, Serve, and Ask was born. So why I still do it is H7 is a vehicle for my purpose in life, which is to lift others up, develop them, connect, unite them and take no credit. And so I'm blessed with the opportunity to be able to drive a vehicle that is able to support my purpose in life. That's why I still do it.
Okay. What's the biggest separator from, H7 from all the other networking groups out there?
Well, there's actually three. So there's our community, the type of people in our community, our culture. Our culture is phenomenal. And last is our meeting style. It's so unique. It's a unicorn that sticks out across the world. We've been visited by 36 people from 36 countries. We have members in 18 countries, and nobody else experiences this anywhere. The meeting structure is engineered and designed to where uh, when you come to the meetings, you can expect to walk away with a meaningful connection to your ask every time you go. So all of our training supports that to happen, where they communicate well, they ask well, they serve well, they connect well, and all of a sudden they get exactly what they're looking for and they can fill their pipeline. But our main metric is 5 trusted relationships. If you can get the 5 trusted relationships, use our training to do that, you get all the business you ever wanted.
Okay. So you own on 17 years. You obviously love what you're doing. What's the your favorite thing about it?
Favorite thing about it, it's the impact. It's definitely the impact. It is giving them something that they may not have had before, and then they apply it and they are able to now do it. Like, simply put, that's my favorite thing. Favorite thing.
Yeah, I can see that. So it's been 17 years. You've definitely done a lot of networking. You said, the first 4 years was over 3,000 one-to-ones. So you've
Yeah.
seen people, all the way along the bell curve, starting out, don't know how to network, all the way to like expert professional networkers. What's the most common mistake? You see people that have never networked before, maybe they're new into sales, new into entrepreneurship, and they're trying to have one-on-ones, but they're not making connections. They're kind of, turning people away. What's the earliest basic advice you can give somebody?
Yep. The person you're meeting with does not want to buy your services. So stop trying. They did not meet with you to buy your service. They met with you because they wanted to meet with you. So remember that.
Yep, that's accurate. It's a hard learned lesson that all of us kind of deal with in the early.
Yep.
Well, we don't know any better. We're not taught this in school. We
Exactly.
come into it. We go, I have a product. I need to sell the product. If I'm talking to somebody, they're probably wanting to buy. When really, it's you're trying to connect with that person because that's way deeper than just a sale because like you said they're not there to buy from you, they're there to talk a little bit about themselves, learn about you, and if they're a genuine really good connector, they're also thinking about who they might know that you might be able to benefit. So you want to talk to all of those people at once through that person. So don't pitch
Yep.
slap, right?
Yeah,
Good
don't pitch
advice.
slap. Stop the pitch slapping. It's over. Stop, please. If they taught you to do it, unteach yourself. Something.
Yeah, no, that can get really, really frustrating when you are meeting like a bunch of new folks, which, it's not their fault. They need to learn, but that's how they learn. So, okay.
Well,
So,
there's,
what was that?
I was going to say, well, there are people, companies, things out there that actually make it that way too. And
Mhm.
that's also part of it. They just don't even know that's what it is. I mean, you think about companies that have employees that are out there networking at your chamber. Well, they're networking at your chamber because they found out that your company resides in that city, chances are. And then they go in with a level of expectation that they can meet with C-level of the company they're trying to get into, just even at their local chamber. And well, that's a farce.
Yeah, yeah, you're not wrong. So, people that want to kind of skip the line and get over that hump of trying to learn how to network, that's things H7 are really great at. So connect, it's a foundational aspect of H7's philosophy. How do you guide new members to move beyond that surface level introductions and build genuine trusted relationships?
Yeah, so that's part of our member journey. Okay. Your traditional networking groups may not have things like that, so they may not make sense traditionally speaking. But when our members come in, they actually get to take a journey. They get to walk through the process. And we encourage them to take that journey to walk through that process. For example, you know, make sure they take their required training, connect, serve, and ask training. Make sure they get into fuel so they understand how to optimize their experience. Go to activate so they can communicate better what they're looking for. Okay. And then you have our member success mastermind that they can jump in to support them along the way. On top of that, we also share, like, make sure you guard your calendar. Make sure that you are, setting yourself up for success. Maybe not doing more than 5 one-to-ones a week. Take your time, especially in a community like ours where there's 47 weekly meetings that you can just jump right on into and run right into that funnel of going to meetings. You may miss out on, maybe you haven't taken your training. So you spend the next 3 months doing one-to-ones with people and then it don't work. Well, it didn't work because you didn't take the training, right? So things like that. But that member journey is there to walk with them, to support them along the way.
Okay.
That's how we do it differently.
So one thing that you always tell people that I really think more and more people need to realize is serving without expecting anything in return. It's a core value of the H7 network. Can you share a story or example of how this principle's led to a meaningful business growth or personal success?
Yeah, can you repeat that again though?
Yeah, so
Like,
serving without expecting anything in
oh,
return. How is that in your experience? Do you have an example of how that's really impacted somebody?
oh yeah. I mean, it's connect, serve, and ask all day. So when I meet with people in the one-to-ones, the goal is to make sure that I serve them with 3 introductions to people they want to meet, to the people they said they want to meet, right? But going in, what ends up happening because I do that specific service, they want to help me back. But I don't have an expectation. It's an attitude of I'm going to help you regardless, like whether you join the group or get involved in a group or even come to me. I don't care. I don't care. And so that is an attitude. That is an attitude. That is a mindset. And the mindset will, I have tons and tons of stories, but I can just kind of simplify it this way. The mindset of having a little faith and abundance mindset and thinking to yourself, like, this person is a human being, mitigating my expectations that they're going to serve me back is the smartest thing you can do. Having that attitude releases you from, doing things just so that you get something back in return. And so that mindset really is of abundance. And so, I mean, people may want to meet me right now for a one-to-one because of this call or this podcast. Bring it on. Let's do it. Right. Then you can tell more stories, right? Because it's an attitude that takes you so much further that you don't have to keep adjusting and finding motivation and finding reasons why to change this or that because your attitude, it also goes along with like trusting in the process. If this is what you're supposed to do, just let it happen. I hope that
Okay.
answers your question.
No, it does, and it's important because I've said it before, I'll say it again. It's a universal truth. There's a reason quotes like Zig Ziglar's help enough people get what they want, you'll get what you want. Reaping what you sow, karma, all of it kind of does that serving without expecting. You're putting enough good out there that things are going to come back to you. People like dealing with people they like. So being that person, being like you said, knowing that you're coming from a place of abundance, saying there's more than enough out there for everybody. Let me help you just a little bit. It's going to come back to you. So hugely impactful, and people need to hear it often and in many different ways. So I like that. Um,
Yeah.
who are some people that are out there right now that H7 will absolutely help? Like somebody that if they're watching this and they're kind of saying, well, I don't know if if it's going to help me personally. Who are the people that H7 was built for?
Yeah. It was built for fractional C-level. It was built for consultants. It was built for coaches. It was built for real estate agents, and it was built for financial advisors predominantly.
Okay. Gotcha. Well, I know one of the pressing questions most entrepreneurs have is how can I get more referrals?
Yeah. You want to start with an abundance mindset, number one. Number two, you need to begin to deploy or apply the connect, serve, and ask principles. When you go out and you get into one-to-ones, you want to connect, serve, and ask with the new people. If you want to increase your referrals, you want to focus on the relationships you have already. like now. So, in order to expedite that, you need to connect, serve, and ask your existing trusted relationships. That's how you do it. You can turn your relationships you have right now already in place that have enough trust in it already to go back, see how you can help, simplified terms here, connect, serve, and ask, see how you can help them and ask for help. And when you ask for help, be specific with the industries, companies that you wish to work with. Stop telling them problems you solve when somebody asks you what you're looking for. Tell them who you're looking for.
It's always back to the core principles. That's the important part. They're the core for the reason here. So awesome. Well, is there anything that I failed to ask that you wanted to mention?
Um, yeah. Whether you are new at networking or been doing it 20 years, 30 years, there's always new things you can learn to continue to improve what you're doing. And if you are one person out there that is still following the traditional way of building relationships, which is like, know, and trust in that order, there's always a different way to skin a cat, to expedite it, to change your results. So be open minded that you don't know everything because I don't either. But I always tell people, I don't know everything, but I'm going to tell you everything I know. And I can tell you that this I know.
It's important. You got to be humble. Like you said, even if you've been doing it for 30 years, you
Yep.
don't know what you don't know. Somebody out there's doing it slightly different than you and better than you. So why not try and learn from that? So all I
Oh,
can do is help.
yeah, that's right. That's right. And maybe it doesn't work for you, and that's cool. But at least you tried. At
Yep.
least you tried.
Yep. And now you know why. You probably have more information why it didn't work for you, and you can tweak what you are doing even
That's right.
afterwards. So how can people get a hold of you?
So I am on LinkedIn as Clay Hicks. Love to connect. But if you connect with me, I do approve. I do wish to do one-to-ones. So please reach out. Let's do it. Okay. Um, you can check out our website at h7network.com. But connecting with me personally, the easiest way would be on LinkedIn. And I believe Anthony and I are connected. So if you're listening to this, you should be able to easily connect with me there. I'm happy to do a one-to-one, happy to connect with you, happy to connect and serve and ask with you.
Perfect. If anybody was thinking about getting a hold of Clay, absolutely do it. You're going to know more people after meeting him than you do before. So what's it going to hurt? If you're a little shy and you don't want to reach out directly, feel free to ask me. I'm more than happy to make that three-way introduction if that's what your preferred method is. If anybody else out there would like to be interviewed, however, feel free to reach out to me. Not only am I going to have all of Clay's links in the description, you'll have my link tree where my calendar link and all of the my socials are. So feel free to reach out to me there. But again, Clay, I really appreciate you coming on, taking the time, talking to us. It's super valuable. People need to hear this often. But other than that, let's all get out there, serve some people, um, meet more folks.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Thank you for having me on, Anthony. And thank you to everybody who's listening. Love to connect. Thank you again, Anthony.
My pleasure.